Hello students of class 8. Welcome to your English class. Today we will learn Unit 5 of your supplementary reader, It So Happened, the lesson unit Princess September, a short story by Somerset Maugham. Are you ready? Shall we start? Okay. Princess September is a story of the royal family of Siam. Siam was the name of the country Thailand till the year 1939. The king and queen of the kingdom of Siam had many daughters. It was difficult for the queen to remember so many names, so they decided to name them after the months of the year: January, February, March, and so on. The youngest princess was called September. The king had a peculiar habit. He gave gifts to others on his birthday instead of receiving gifts from others. So one birthday, he gave each of his 9 daughters a pretty-looking parrot in a golden cage. The daughters were very happy to receive this gift from their father, the king. They took care of their pet parrots very well and started teaching each of these parrots to talk. Very soon, the parrots could say, "God save the king" and "Pretty Polly" in 7 different languages. Do you know what this "Pretty Polly" means? Normally, people use this phrase while addressing their pet parrots and try to teach them this phrase, and the parrots repeat them. But nobody really knows what it means. One day, the youngest princess, September, went to wish good morning to her pet parrot and found to her dismay that the parrot lay on the floor of the cage, dead. She was very upset. She bursted out into tears and cried and cried. Her maids of honor came to console her. They said so many things to help her out, but nothing comforted her. They didn't know how to take care of this situation and went and told the queen. The queen got annoyed. She said it was all nonsense and nobody need to fuss so much about such a trivial matter. Just put her to bed without supper and she'll be all right, she said. The maids of honor were actually in a hurry to go for a party, so they quickly put Princess September to bed without supper. The princess cried and cried in her bed, and she was feeling hungry too. Suddenly, through her open window, a little bird popped into her room and started singing a beautiful song. The princess forgot all her sorrow and sat up. She looked at this beautiful bird, which was singing a song about the lake in the king's garden and the willows that surrounded the lake, and how beautifully the reflection of these trees fell into the lake. Hearing this beautiful song, the little princess forgot all her sorrow and her hunger. She appreciated the song of the bird. The bird, in reply, bowed to her and said, "Would you like to have me as a pet in the place of that parrot? I know I'm not so beautiful to look at, but I can sing for you." Princess September was overjoyed. She accepted the bird as her pet, and then the bird hopped onto her bed and sang her to sleep. Next morning, when the princess woke up, the bird wished her good morning as soon as she opened her eyes. Princess September was so happy. Her maids of honor brought her breakfast to her room. She fed the bird with her own hands, and he bathed in her saucer. Then the bird sang a beautiful song. The maids had never heard such a beautiful song ever before. Princess September was very happy and also proud of her bird. She wanted to show her bird to all her sisters. So she made the bird sit on her finger, took the bird all over to her sisters' rooms. The sisters saw the bird. The bird sang a different song for each one of them. Then Princess September took the bird to the king and queen. The queen saw the bird and said, "I knew it was right to put you to bed without supper." The king, too, liked the song of the bird. He was getting tired of hearing Pretty Polly from the parrots of his other daughters. Of course, he liked to hear God Save the King, but Pretty Polly in different languages reminded him of his counselors, who said the same things in different ways, but didn't mean anything. So the king was very happy with this little bird which could sing such a beautiful song. The other princesses were not happy with this, nor were their parrots. But Princess September went so happily all around the palace, and this bird going round and round around her and singing. This went on for several days. One day, all the other princes got together and planned something. They went to Princess September and told her that they were very sorry that her parrot had died, and so they decided to pull in all their pocket money and buy for her a lovely yellow and green parrot. Princess September was quite surprised. She said, "Why would she ever want another parrot when she has a lovely bird that can sing for her?" The sisters did not like this. They told her that though this bird was there around, but it wasn't there always with her. It would fly in and out, and how could that be a good pet? Just as they said this, they looked around and did not find the bird. "Where is the bird right now?" asked her sisters. She said that the bird had gone to meet his father-in-law. Then the sisters said, "What if he doesn't come back?" September was sure he will come back, and she said so to his sisters. Then the sisters told her it is better to put the bird in the cage to be sure that he is there always. September did not like this much. She said she loved having the bird flying all around the place. The sisters, in a grim way, said, "Safety first," and they left her place. Princess September was not comfortable with what her sisters told her. Okay, this is the first part of the story. We'll see what happens in the next part later. Let's first look at the comprehension check questions. Page number 38, question number 1. How many daughters did the royal couple have? Yes, we know that. The royal couple of Siam had 9 daughters. Number 2. Why were they named after the months of the year? we heard that the Queen was not very comfortable remembering so many names, so they decided to name the daughters after the months of the year, and they were January, February, March and so on, and the youngest one was September. Yes. Question 3. The king had a peculiar habit. What was it? Why is it called peculiar? The king gave gifts to people on his birthday. This is called peculiar because normally on a person's birthday, others give him gifts. And here was the king, instead of receiving gifts, was giving gifts to others on his birthday. Okay, next question. Question 4, part 1. What was Princess September's reaction to the loss of her parrot? Yes, Princess September was very sad. She cried her heart out when she found that her parrot was dead. Part 2. What was her mother's reaction to it? Her mother said it was all stuff and nonsense and nobody need to fuss over such a small thing. The princess should be sent to bed without supper. Part 3. What do the reactions indicate about the nature and temperament of each? The princess's reaction indicates that she was young and sensitive. She loved her parrot, and the loss of the parrot was unbearable to her. The queen was a little harsh in her reaction. She did not understand Princess September's loss or the reason why she grieved so much. She didn't think the loss of a parrot was such a significant incident to shed tears for. Next question. Question 5. What pulled the princess out of her gloom? Yes, we know that. As the princess lay on her bed, crying and hungry, there came a little bird into her room who sang a lovely song to her. That relieved Princess September of her grief. Next question. How did the maids of honor come to know that the princess and the bird had become intimate friends? The maids of honor realized that the princess and the bird had become intimate friends when they saw her feeding the bird with her own hand and the bird bathing in her saucer. Next question. Question 7. The new bird was full of new songs, but the old parrots always repeated themselves. What did they say? We know that. The old parrots always said, "God save the king" and "Pretty Polly" in 7 different languages. Question 8. What is the king's opinion about his counselors? Why did he form that opinion? The king said that his counselors said the same thing in 7 different ways, but really did not mean anything. He said this when he heard the parrots repeating "Pretty Polly" in 7 different languages. Just as "Pretty Polly" in 7 different languages did not mean anything much, so did the king's counselors did not mean anything when they said the same things over and over again in different ways. Next question. Question 9, part 1. The 8 princesses made an offer to Princess September. What was it? The 8 older princesses offered to buy Princess September a new yellow and green parrot. Why do you think they said this? Probably because Princess September's bird looked so happy and sang such a beautiful song, whereas their parrots looked grim and said the same things over and over again. Everybody was praising Princess September's bird, and maybe they were feeling a little jealous. So they wanted her to have the same pet as they had, so that nobody would prefer Princess September's bird over their parrots. Okay, next question. Question number 10. What did the sisters advise the princess to do about her bird? The sisters advised Princess September to cage her singing bird so that she's sure of the bird's whereabouts. Okay, with this, we have come to the end of today's lesson. We have read the story Princess September by Somerset Maugham. We have answered the few comprehension check questions that are there in your textbook. We have also dealt with the exercises, and we looked at the section Think It Over. That is all for today. See you next time. Goodbye. Thank you.